Okay, we are live. Awesome. Hi, people. Welcome to Fool's Day or Fool's Day Eve, because it's not technically April Fool's Day. Not until another 4 hours from now. Um, and it's
God
not
help
like
us.
we're gonna be doing pranks on people, but
Mm.
because we don't want to be like Squidward and just like completely brutalize your next door neighbor because you don't like the fact that it's his favorite holiday. But we got plenty of fools to talk about, especially online. Still found a few things. Um, Something big happened yesterday, and then the account of this person didn't even get the right name, didn't even get the right word spelled, which was hilarious. And then yeah,
Just
we're gonna continue our conversation that we had offline about Tim Burton and Tim Burton movies to start off with, because
yeah.
like the map
Oh,
the
I thought
posters
we were
just
gonna.
got.
I thought we were. I thought we were gonna go the Encanto runs, and we don't talk about Bruno.
Well, that's for part five. But no, we were talking about we were talking about Tim Burton movies as we were coming on, because the posters for Beetlejuice 2 started to come out, and I know, listen, I get it that people are excited about the sequel to Beetlejuice, but as somebody that saw the original and has only seen it one time since, um I mean, I liked it. I mean, I enjoyed the animated show a lot better when that was on Nickelodeon back in the mid 90s. I remember I actually saw a Beetlejuice. I think I was a part of a Beetlejuice show. I can't remember. Okay, so I remember I went to Universal Studios when I was 6. And I can't remember if I actually played as a character for one of the live shows. Can't remember if it was Beetlejuice or if it was Xena Warrior Princess. God, it's been so long. I think it was the Xena Warrior Princess one, because I think the Beetlejuice show was just completely animated and everyone just watched it in like movie seats with a bunch of 4D effects. Yeah, it definitely was a 4D show in Universal, but I love the animated the animated show a lot much more so than the live action one. But ever since then, I've not had a big like thing for Beetlejuice, even though I think Michael Keaton's a great actor. I mean, I've seen him in more than just Batman and Beetlejuice. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really as excited for the sequel, considering that it's been almost, what, 30 years since it came out. I mean, it's a lot different from Hocus Pocus, because I think like Hocus Pocus definitely had like a bigger following than Beetlejuice did amongst people that I know, because not a lot of people that I know are talking about Beetlejuice all that much.
I love Beetlejuice, but I just don't like certain projects that Burton's done recently.
Yeah, Burton has definitely been a fool in and of himself. It's just because
Mm-hmm.
like just the movies are just bad. Like I was talking about the vampire movie that he did, uh, like Dark Shadows, and that one was just, my dad was like, "Oh, this is awful. This is horrible." And then we don't talk about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
He who shall not be named. Mm-hmm. We were
um,
also talking about like how many people don't like Corpse Bride too.
Yeah, Corpse Bride, I mean, I think there's a cult following for it, for like people who really love that type of animation, because they compare it a lot to Nightmare Before Christmas. But I wasn't a fan of it when the movie came out, and I remember they were advertising this movie like hell back in that day.
I'm not a fan of both. I mean, it's like what I told you guys. Like, I do have some Nightmare for Christmas stuff. It's just I'm not really a big fan of it, as people would think.
No. Ah, Sylph was also talking about the true origin of the Corpse Bride story.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically it's okay, so a TikTok video has falsely attributed the story, The Demon in the Tree, as the origin of the story used in Tim Burton's Corpse Bride. The Corpse Bride is based on a Jewish folk tale, but it is one called The Finger. It used to be a cruel and common practice for anti-Semites to attack Jewish wedding parties and to brutally murder the bride, as she was the one who would bear the next generation of Jews. One day, while walking in the woods, a young man who was about to be married found what he thought was just an old root or branch that resembled a human hand. As a joke, he decided to recite his vows while placing his ring on the branch. To his horror, the young man discovered that the branch was actually the hand of a dead bride. And yeah, that's
That damn wind is strong today.
so that's basically like a little bit of story to that.
Oy.
Yeah,
Lord.
yeah, but
Should we talk about the Alice in Wonderland?
oh God, I saw the first one. I took it was like one of my very first dates with this girl that I was seeing in college, and one of the things that we both really liked was just seeing bad movies, and we just had this thing right away that we knew that the Alice in Wonderland movie was gonna suck. I don't know. We just had this premonition because all it was just Johnny Depp as the Mad Hatter as like the star of the show. I'm like, wait a minute. Alice in Wonderland is not the main poster. It's kind of like the same thing with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It was just Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka. I mean, even though it is like, but I mean, that's the original name of the book was the, and you know, and it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna put Willy Wonka as the main star because obviously Hollywood advertising, you gotta get the top stars, the marquee. But it was just weird seeing the Mad Hatter getting like such much character development, considering that Mad Hatter was just a part of the Tea Party in the original story and didn't even have that much of a thing. And it's like, okay, now all of a sudden he's like the top thing, and all of it's just because Tim Burton's best friend is in the movie. Okay.
And I think
Oh,
the reason
God.
why they changed what?
Oh, Miss Pergoline's Home for Peculiar Children. That was a bad
hell's
movie.
that?
You never saw that?
I've never seen.
Okay,
No.
okay. Good, thank goodness. But go ahead. Say what you were gonna say.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit. Oh yeah, it's about the original movie, like with Gene Wilder. The reason why they didn't use Charlie's name in it because they were trying to like market the candy shit.
Yeah, I think they also didn't want to like use the actual title of it because they wanted to change little things different from the book in the movie. Obviously,
We know. Oh, we know about the Olympus being pygmies.
Oh yeah, and now there's gonna be the prequel for like Willy Wonka, where he tries to save the Oompa Loompas from the evils of Loompa Land.
Yeah.
I forgot who's playing him, but
Please, don't let it be Johnny Depp.
no, it's not. I can't remember if it's the guy who played Spider-Man or the guy that was in the Timothy Chalamet.
Which guy that plays Spider-Man? There was like 20 actors that play Spider-Man.
Well, the recent guy, Tom Holland. I can't remember if it's him or Timothy Chalamet, the guy that was in the guy that was infamous for being in that Call Me by Your Name movie. Which is like Brokeback Mountain, but it took place on a beach instead.
Dude, you can tell like they don't pay attention to like movies and media anymore.
Well, I keep in touch with like movies and stuff like that. I mean, there was thankfully we got past the horrible Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
I haven't even seen that yet, so
you're
not worth watching.
You're saving yourself. Like those fools online that decided they thought it would be a good idea to take the Pooh like public domain and just like make it into a movie just to make. I don't think they even made that much of a profit off of it. Like it didn't even go anywhere. But
they were better off fucking making like Peter Pan into a horror movie because I remember like as in the story says like. The older the Lost Boys got, he would kill him.
But
so,
well, I mean, they're
there
coming.
you go, childhood ruin.
I mean, Disney's already coming out with a live adaptation of Peter Pan, coming out this.
No.
Yeah, it's coming out. It's coming out this month in April. It's gonna be called Peter Pan. It's called Peter Pan and Wendy.
Yeah.
Say psych right now.
Well, you can't stop Disney. They're gonna make fucking money off these fucking like remakes and shit.
I mean, because
Even
they
though
can't.
nobody asked for them.
Well, you can't. They can't do. You can't do the animated one anymore because they took it off because of how racist it was.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they don't have the
Yeah,
original
but-
Dumbo on there anymore. It's because they had the racist crows.
And this is why it's good to have a physical copy of shit.
Well, look, even
Because-
Song of the South was deemed racist in the 50s, like 10 years after it came out. That's why they don't talk about it. That's why they never put it on VHS afterwards. They just like,
We
oh
know
yeah,
back then everybody was fucking racist. Hell, there's a lot of people that's still racist.
yeah, but I wouldn't recommend people watch that racist shit. I don't even like Birth of a Nation was like considered the best movie of 1918. I'm not gonna tell people to go watch it because it's like it's the fucking the KKK was considered heroes in that movie. I'm like, no, thank you.
Jesus.
So people's like, but what about historical film context? I'm like, you could talk about the history of it, you just don't have to praise it. Like, that's the thing. Like, people
Yeah.
confuse history with praise. Like, oh, like all these movies that were like innovative back then, we got to praise them. No, like innovative movies, you can basically say, like, yes, it was appropriate for the time period, but you could still say, no, that fucking sucks in today's time period. Yeah, you could definitely
It's
do
called
that.
learning from your history,
Yes.
people.
But there's all these fools online that there's all these fools on the internet that keep saying like, oh no, these movies need to be praised for their ingenuity. And I'm like, no, not necessarily. You could say that you could say that they used specific like film things back then that that no other movie was doing at the time, but you could just put that as like a thing and then say, oh, by the way, they did such and such and such, and we won't talk about anything other than that.
I'm surprised Disney didn't George Lucas the fucking like Peter Pan movie.
What do you mean, George?
I know they
Lucas, the
cut
Peter
out like
Pan?
the little like handmaiding like
Wait, are you talking about Hook?
no.
Okay.
I was about to say like in Fantasia they fucking cut out that like horse racist girl or something. I forgot what they're called.
Centaurs.
Yes, thank you. That's what I was looking for. There was a centaur of a black girl and they cut it out. Like being like like a little slave to the maidens in that
Oh.
one section.
Thank you, Disney.
Yeah, they cut that part out because they realized, oh shit.
You know what? I'm also interested as like why they haven't banned Jungle Book, because Jungle Book, especially with like the scat the scat monkeys. Like, I mean, hello. But no, that's still up on Disney Plus. But it's like we already have a live action version. Why do we need the animated one anymore? If it's got like the horribly racist scat monkeys. Anyway,
Actually, no, everybody's gonna find Robin Hood offensive too because it's not right stealing from the rich.
oh no. You know who will say that? It will definitely be the conservatives who believe in like that. They believe that the rich should have just everything and the poor gets nothing. Like,
Exactly.
you're not going to convince the majority of the world anyway to think like, really, you're gonna cancel Robin Hood for that? Like, that's the most uncancelable thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially especially towards a certain turtle that I will not name.
A certain turtle.
I'm not gonna.
Are we talking
Minority
about?
leader.
Oh, are we talking? I thought you were talking about Bowser for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, Bowser doesn't have money.
No. Not him. Another one.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say who it is.
All right.
Trump.
Oh,
Close.
should we talk about that? Because that was like that was like fool's gold
Go
right
ahead.
there.
We
That
might
was
as well get this fucking thing out of the way.
Oh, what
Trump-
fool's gold? What
Circus hint. He works with your state.
I was gonna say, like, this was fool's gold yesterday when I found this out, because like just going on his Truth Social and just like reading, like, first of all, it's in all caps and he's crying like a baby, and instead of saying indicted, he says I got indicated. Like, what are you can't even get that right. You can't even get the fact that you're going to jail on Tuesday. You couldn't even get that right. It's like, I'm indicated. Like, oh my god.
I'm surprised he didn't buy his way out of jail.
Well, no. Okay, so I got a pretty good summary of the whole thing that happened yesterday. So
Hey, here we go. Summary of the shit show.
So the New York Times got the scoop yesterday afternoon, thanks to 4 people with knowledge of the matter. I put that in quotes. The Manhattan grand jury, convened by District Attorney Alvin Bragg, was voted to indict Trump on more than 30 as yet unknown charges. So it's not just the one that we know about. There's 29 others, which include felonies.
Jesus.
I thought it was like 34.
Oh, now we're going up even further. Okay, so now it's just like 33 have been unknown yet. The charges
All right,
reporting.
so we're all, in other words, we're all hanging up his dirty laundry, everybody.
The charges reportedly relate to the falsification of business records to cover up Trump's hush money payments to Stormy Daniels and perhaps another model he had a transactional agreement with.
Quote unquote.
He was getting very busy with the porn stars.
Hi, Chester.
Or I should say adult film stars. I mean, these people do deserve some respect. I mean, they don't get paid as much as people think, and they don't get the right treatment that they should.
Yeah, they get fucked up the ass enough.
Ding, ding, ding. You know, it's just to segue a little bit away from it. So I was listening to an interview of this adult film star, and it was like a horror story when I heard about this. So apparently, this guy who's like a very big adult film star. Oh, like this was like back in 2008. He got an invitation to do it's like instead of like doing the scene indoors, it was going to be outside on a beach with like four different people. So it was going to be like an orgy on a beach, and he got invited to it because it was like, oh, it's a lot of big money for him at the time, and it was considered like a big a payday for him.
Right.
What he did, yeah. And at the time, he really needed money because he still wasn't famous enough yet, and he was really trying to put his name out there as a major star. What happened was they didn't do any medical testing on all of the performers. So he ended up like the next a couple hours after the scene was over, he started getting sick, and so he would end up going back to his hotel room and he was vomiting up a storm. And so he goes to the hospital, and they said like he's got an STD of some kind. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but apparently he got he felt like his life was going to end at that point, because here was a guy that thought porn was the only career choice that he ever had in life, because he grew up in a very let's just say his family life sucked. Because he grew up in, yeah. I think he grew up in Kentucky, somewhere in rural Kentucky, or what was it, rural North or South Dakota, somewhere in the Midwest. And his family life sucked, and porn was his only way to make money because he wasn't good at anything else. So he felt like his life and his career was over, and then he found out the STD was treatable. But he felt like if I'd have been smarter back then, and if I would have known that there were things out there for me, or if I would have known that, if I would have known that these people didn't get tested, then I wouldn't have done the shoot, even if the money was there for me. But now he advocates that every performer gets the treatment and the necessities that they need before they even do stuff. And now he's got a non-profit charity where he goes around in Vegas and California and helps people out with that. Actually gives contraception to people, so that's good. Anyway.
Yeah, I have heard a horror story where a bunch of these female porn stars got AIDS from this one male porn star, and they were fucking crying about it because nobody knew.
Yeah, he was actually that guy you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. He got featured in a Netflix documentary, and they painted him as a victim because apparently he didn't know he had it until like the charges started coming about. Like he was completely oblivious to it.
Jesus.
And he practically destroyed his career. And then his career was over by that point. But after that, he was like, yeah, I'm just going to focus on making sure that I, keep myself healthy. And I apologize to everybody that I ruined their lives. Even though like he didn't know, like he still feels responsible for it, which he should anyway.
He should have fucking checked himself after like every shoot, because you're like going in and sticking your cock in somebody who slept with another person on film before. Come on.
Yeah, well, and these companies don't even do it that much either. I mean, it's like the ones that are like really big. I mean, they do the proper things. Like they even check like weeks in advance, and even days in advance, and even hours in advance. Some of the more sketchy production companies don't even do that. It's
fucking personal responsibility. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, let me read this on, and then we'll talk about Tommy Wiseau's movie.
Oh, you got another movie?
Oh yeah, we told you about the shark. Anyway, so we also know
I didn't think that was going to go through.
So anyway, we also know the star witness is likely to be Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, who arranged those payments. The Washington Post and the Associated Press quickly confirmed the Times report, and last night, politicians across the spectrum rushed to respond to the much-anticipated news. It's the first time a former president has been criminally charged, so really, this is a long time coming. As the Post says, some form of criminal charges against Trump have been 50 years in the making. And inshallah, this is only the first indictment for Trump, who oversaw many potential crimes while in office, as the House January 6th committee amply demonstrated, as well as in his prior life as an upstanding casino operator. Because everyone knows he had a casino in the 80s. That was like the Trump Taj Mahal in New Jersey, and that did horribly. Bragg is currently negotiating for Trump's surrender, and the former Crook-in-Chief's lawyers indicated he will submit this coming Tuesday at 2:15 p.m. So expect wide coverage of the arrest happening at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday afternoon. Fingerprinting and the whole shebang, possibly including handcuffs. Though Trump himself last night hung up on the phone on an ABC News reporter who asked him whether he would turn himself in. The Times says in the unlikely event Trump refuses to surrender himself, his 2024 presidential rival, my governor, Ron DeSantis, might be required by law to extradite him to New York. Which means that it's like, well, Trump, you're getting kicked out of Florida. You're moving back to New York. Funny life's twists and turns. DeSantis said on Twitter last night that Florida won't extradite Trump. Of course he won't, because he's afraid of him. Very, very common down here how much the governor's afraid of him. The details of this process could get very interesting. Trump wrote last night that he had been unfairly indicated, calling it an attack on our country, the likes of which has never been seen before. And he said this in all caps, by the way, which is just hilarious.
On his social media site. On
Truth Social, because even though he's back on Twitter, he refuses to go on there. Even though like Elon Musk owns it, he still won't go there. Because he's got to promote. because if he does that, then like the whole point of promoting Truth Social means nothing. And the only reason people go on there is because Trump is on there. So if Trump leaves, the whole website dies.
Why didn't he deactivate his account then?
Because he does. Because he wants it on the off. Because he wants it on the off chance that when he gets the nomination for the RNC next year, that it'll have a platform to reach more people.
Trump is like, I used to be president.
Yeah,
pouting.
Yeah, I guess.
And he wants to. Some of it's like being on crack, you see. And he wants to get back into his fix.
Yeah. By the way, a president was arrested before. You know what he was doing? He was drunk and riding a horse and buggy while drunk. And the cop was like, okay, Mr. President, I'm throwing you in jail because you're just acting like a drunk asshole.
Oh, I wish I was around to see that. Which one was it?
Oh God, I can't remember which president it was.
Hold on,
It
I'm
was-
looking this up.
I think it was Harrison, or it could not have been Harrison. No, because he died in 30 days.
Franklin Pierce?
So. Who?
Franklin Pierce?
Maybe? I don't.
Wait. Hold on, I'm looking at this.
Name doesn't. I mean, I know Franklin Pierce. So it's just I don't know. I definitely know it wasn't Teddy Roosevelt. His
Teddy Roosevelt shot a bear, but that's all we know.
Wait, he shot a beer? Oh my God, he was a.
A bear.
Oh, fuck you, Washington Post. I don't want to register on your site.
Yeah, it's like all the big newspapers have a big paywall now.
I wouldn't put it past him to shoot a beer barrel.
Getting back to it, his diehards online are predictably calling for extreme measures. But many others who supported Trump during the insurrection, now fearful of the consequences, appear less enthusiastic about a sequel. I wonder why.
Right, one source said Ulysses X Grant, but
Ulysses
another source said Franklin Pierce.
Okay, Ulysses S. Grant sounds more familiar when I heard this story. Okay, so Stormy Daniels opened up about this. So she's going to testify at his trial, along with, like I said, Michael Cohen. She now wishes she hadn't accepted his advances when the two met up at a celebrity golf tournament in Lake Tahoe over 10 years ago. And she wouldn't do it again, she says. She's like, I should have said no and I didn't. I got myself into a bad situation. She had a Q&A on OnlyFans last night. She spoke dressed in a t-shirt. She responded to a stream of written questions. Yes, that's what a Q&A is. While she was having sex with Trump, he spanked her with a magazine and said, "You remind me of my daughter."
Why the fuck did I need to know this?
Ew.
Excuse me?
Wow.
So, like, what's the best way to give yourself a concussion?
And she says, so after she said that, she said, I actually have to defend Trump on one thing. A lot of people like to talk about the spanking and how he compared me to his daughter and how creepy and sexual it was. It absolutely wasn't. It wasn't part of sex. You know, he said, oh, you remind me of my daughter because she's smart and people don't take her seriously.
Wow.
Even if that wasn't going on, it's still kind of fucked up to say.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay. Trying to see if there was anything else that was, nope. That's all we know so far. So all we know is the guy was like, oh, guys, I got indicated. Look, okay, remember, he was saying that he was going to get arrested not this past Tuesday, but the Tuesday, like, last week. He did, like, one of those, like, those priests do when they say the end of the world is coming on this date at this time, and then it never happens. So, yeah, he found out that he was getting arrested, which is going to happen on Tuesday, but it's just not the Tuesday that he was thinking of. Which is funny in and of itself.
Okay, let's move on to the shark movie.
Okay, so Tommy Wiseau, I can't believe he's doing this. Oh, the screening starts on April Fool's Day. What a surprise.
Oh, lovely.
Big Shark with Tommy Wiseau live. Pre-premiere. Sorry, no courtesy passes or discount tickets accepted for these screenings.
Can I bring my spoons?
At a shark movie?
Yeah,
I swear-
just
Bring
in
a
case it
spork.
sucks.
So 3 firefighters, Georgie, Patrick, and Tim, must save New Orleans from a gigantic shark. Can New Orleans survive? World's pre-premiere of Tommy Wiseau's new directorial and starring effort. Just added Saturday show by popular demand. The man, the myth, the legend will be at Cinema 21 to answer your questions about his new film, Big Shark. If you're a fan of Tommy, you can't miss this major event. Doors open at 4 p.m. Movie will start once Tommy says go. He'll do a Q&A after both Big Shark shows, planned for a long event, at least 3 hours. God, I feel like I'm going to a football game.
For fuck's sake. Don't tell
Funnily
me
enough,
Greg is in this.
yeah, Elliot, get off my thing, my desk. Okay, funnily enough, he has a Twitch channel that's been right now. It's been going for 30 hours.
Like right now?
Yeah, right now.
Like what's happening?
I don't know. I'm in the middle of an ad
Uh-oh.
for
Top
Apple TV.
Top of the hour ad breaks. Or low or sorry, bottom of the hour ad breaks,
Oh,
I
okay.
should say.
We're seeing something for the neighbors.
Oh, he's probably showing off like his TV show. Which by the way, I still have to show all of you.
Yeah, I couldn't make it through the first episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's showing all the episodes. It's episode 4 right now.
Okay. Oh, the most boring one. Great. Sorry, there's only so much I could take at Tommy's stuff before it's not funny anymore. Hi, Shauna. If that's how I'm saying your name, I'm sorry if I'm not saying your name properly, Shauna.
He's wearing
But-
such
Hola.
horrible-looking wigs.
Yeah, he's trying to... Apparently, the guy in the blonde wig is supposed to be the main villain of the show. Like, here's the thing. Tommy on the show is the main protagonist and the main antagonist. If you could believe
All I
that.
remember is him loaning somebody some money so he could pay back the guy who paid back another person. Now he owes Tommy money.
And by the way, he was lobbying to have this show like nominated for Emmys back then when the
What?
show came out. Like himself and a couple of other actors, he wanted to get like Best Actor and Supporting Actor. I'm like, your show hasn't even been reviewed by that many people. It's not even on a major network.
He just thinks fucking the room was the bee's knees, and now everybody knows his name.
Oh, what a fool!
What the fuck am I
what a-
looking at right now?
Yeah, his show was not good. It was like he was just trying to be funny without being funny. Like he tried too
Like,
hard to be
For
funny.
the little the little screen between scenes, there was a bird that flew and crashed. Like,
Oh, you're talking about the transitions between scenes where the fucking dinosaur shows up.
yeah.
Yep.
What the fuck am I watching?
Which by the way was not in the original show. It was just the building. It was just an establishing shot of the building with nothing happening, and it was just this song that went.
Oh, yeah, Chicken Lady.
And that's all it was. I swear to you, that's all it was. Yeah, the chicken lady. Apparently, there was a woman in the building that just had a pet chicken, and that pet chicken just seemed to go out every time, and everyone was like, "Ooh, dinner!" And she's like, "You get your hand off of my chicken."
When you said the chicken lady, it just reminded me of the
How the
chicken lady
heck did he
from
get
Kids
so many
Ball.
emotes? What the frick?
Okay, you need to stop watching, Sylph. It will damage your brain too much.
Oh no, it's not from the watching. It's like, how does he have so much shit on, like so much stuff on here? Like,
And by the way, some of the actors were modeling his own underwear brand.
Uh,
Because remember, Tommy
No.
said,
23,487 followers.
"Oh, 23,000." You said.
Yes.
Okay, well that's not that many.
my brain hurts now.
Yeah, okay, that's so we know that there's only 23,000 people around the world that still think Tommy is the shit.
I think it's more of watching it just for like the ironic reasons.
I mean, it's the show is like 10 years old already. Like there's no point in going back and watching it. It's like a once in a lifetime thing and then you stop watching it afterwards.
He was also like showing him some kind of movie premieres, so it's more than just that.
Well, it's not even a movie premiere of the show. I mean, it's like Big Shark.
Not of
we
the
know
show,
that.
like a different thing.
Yeah, Big
What I'm
Shark.
trying to say is that he's just putting all of his works and stuff related to his work on the channel.
Oh, are they gonna put the disaster artist on there next?
In
I
Best
don't know.
Friends.
It's just the
I
audio.
need to read some like inspirational quotes. You guys want to hear some inspirational quotes?
I don't know if I should.
Fine, I'll just copy paste them.
All right, I'll read them out.
My brain hurts. As long as you do it in the voice.
Oh, I got to do it in the voice.
Yes.
Yes.
If mommy's purse didn't belong in the microwave, why did it fit?
That actually worked. It was supposed My cat's breath smells like cat food.
What the fuck?
Oh god.
Lord
oh
help.
god, Tommy was so as Ralph Wiggum. Now it makes the Valentine's Day episode mean so much more.
Oh,
Here you-
God.
Here you go, Tommy. Oh, you choose me?
I'm scared now, guys.
This is my swing set. This is my sandbox. I'm not allowed to go in the deep end.
This is where I saw the leprechaun. Uh-huh. He told me to burn things.
We need
Oh.
to talk about Ralph Wiggum. He's a disturbed child.
Yes, I love Lisa, and when I grow up, I'm going to marry her. No! At least the ducks are my friends.
Johnny ain't the most hated character I've seen in a movie.
Well, no, besides him throwing a TV out the window and destroying property.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, and also working for a corrupt bank.
I still love you. You're the only one who do.
That almost sounded like you were doing an Italian Tommy.
Oh my. Hold on.
You're welcome.
You're the only one.
Baby.
You're the only one who do.
I can't do Tommy's accent. I'll be honest with you.
You're the only one who
know,
do.
you are
So now
baby.
you're the only one who do. So now I make you some ragu.
I think my tongue is kind of shot from Wednesday.
Well, now you didn't even do anything close to Tommy.
Yeah, but with the other accents I'm in.
Come on, baby. Get off my desk.
Miss
Little engine
Hoover,
is going.
Miss Hoover,
Hey,
I
I
glued
caught
my
my-
head to my shoulder.
Jesus.
Okay. Go.
All right.
Oh my.
Well, while I'm here, while I'm on the general page of our Discord, let's talk about this "Am I the asshole?" thing that Sylph found. Here's a fool
Oh,
of the internet for you. I
Ah,
haven't.
here we go.
I haven't read this in advance, so we may have to stop here and there. Okay, so this is titled, "Am I the asshole for participating in my boyfriend's family's bizarre orange tradition?" I'm gonna guess this takes place in Florida because oranges are very popular down here. If you don't, if you call yourself a Florida chef and you don't use orange in any of your dishes, you can't call yourself a Florida chef. Oranges and seafood. If you can't make any of those two things in Florida, you can't call yourself a Florida chef. Yeah, so anyway, my BF and I have been together a while now, but I hadn't met his family until a week ago when they invited us to stay at their house. I was very excited to meet his parents for the first time, and they were super sweet when I got there. Both of them are lovey people, and we all got along well. They gave us free reign to do whatever. Hopefully that's not the case. But the one thing they insisted on was that we join them for their tradition of eating oranges as a family on Saturday mornings. They grow their own oranges. Wow, that is not easy to do. And they've been doing They've been doing this since my BF was a kid, so he was especially thrilled to sell the edition with me as a rite of passage. What were they gonna pass the orange torch over to her?
It's kind of cute though.
Son, it's time to teach you how to grow an orange.
I'm just
Son,
imagining.
it's time I teach you the family tradition. Now come over here to this here orange tree. Ain't it beautiful? Why don't we start watching the oranges? Hopefully no orange stealing
Oranges and
people come
orange
around.
accessories.
It's now. Well, son, it's now time for you to drink from this here orange cup. This is the rite of passage. You drink from this, you are officially a man.
I guarantee it. They make their own orange juice too.
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, you would have to make orange juice. I mean, technically, you could do other things with oranges. You don't have to necessarily make orange juice, but orange juice is the most popular thing to do with oranges. I'm gonna, after done reading this, I'm gonna find like recipes for like that use orange as like their main ingredient.
Oh, I like those like in the winter when they sell over here those like little orange things that has chocolate and all that stuff in it.
Oh, chocolate oranges.
Oh yeah, chocolate
Yes,
oranges.
I love those.
Yeah, because
I've never
that's
tried
the
chocolate oranges.
they're very
mind you.
they're very tough to make, and oranges are usually a summer fruit. I mean, they're not easy to make in winter, which is why they do the chocolate part in the winter. Anyway, we're getting
but
away from.
It's a nice little treat to have something orange during the winter.
Yeah, of course. So anyway, so the morning came and his mom brought in some fresh oranges from the garden. Hopefully those don't have bugs on them. Like, that's the one thing that I don't like about people that grow oranges in their backyard. Like, are you making sure that the bugs aren't getting to them? Because you know
I'm
that
a
they
weirdo.
will.
I like my oranges cold, so eating them like when they just came out of the thing, I'm a little iffy.
Yeah, now I'm more worried about like, okay, have you made sure that nothing has touched this orange?
Yeah.
So we sat at the table and I was getting ready to peel my orange when I saw my BF's mom bite into her orange like it was an apple.
What?
You're not supposed to do that. You know, the skin's not edible.
You
Or
dumbass.
I say with the peels still on. Oh. I was so stunned when I saw my BF and his dad do the same thing with their oranges as if it were totally normal. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to. There are oranges that you can cut into slices very easily. I guess they noticed my shock because they asked me why I wasn't eating. So I started to peel my orange, but then his mom told me to stop. That I was eating it wrong and had to bite into it with the skin to get the full experience. All right, I'm gonna keep reading before I
you
start.
can eat the peel. It's just it's rich in fibers, vitamins, and disease-fighting polyphenols. It just has a very tart taste to it.
Yeah, you're just not supposed to do it with the rest of the orange. There's a reason why they peel it all off before you get into an orange. I politely told her that I like to peel my oranges, and I'm sure they taste just as great either way, but she kept insisting I had to bite into my orange for tradition. After saying multiple times that I'd rather peel it, and the family, including BF, pushing back... Okay, so they're pressuring her. I put the orange back on the table and said, though I appreciate the gesture, I personally feel uncomfortable eating oranges that way, and I'd rather not participate. Things were tense after that, and we left the next day. When we got home, my BF chewed me out for being rude and embarrassing him and his family. He said I should have just eaten the orange the right way. There is no right way to eat an orange. People eat oranges many different ways.
I just never heard of people eating an orange like that.
Yeah, no. And that's not even... A bunch of chefs will even tell you that's not even the way you're supposed to do it. Since his parents were gracious to let me stay with them. So he's playing the whole like, oh, you should. It's like, okay, they allowed you into their home, and this is the thanks you give them. I could see his point, and I apologize for causing any hurt. I really do like his family and think they're great people, but stand by my decision to opt out of the orange tradition. Yeah, like don't participate in things you're not comfortable doing, and don't feel like you have to be pressured into doing something you're not comfortable doing. If anything, they should have not been so standoffish and said, here, you know, if this is if this is really the way that you're supposed to eat oranges, I'm just saying, like, if that was really the case, instead of just being, like, standoffish and saying, like, do it right now, they should have been like, okay, I know this might be a little bit tough for you at first because this is something that you've never experienced before, but trust me, we know what we're doing. Or, hey, like, here, like, let me try to educate you on the subject. Instead, they were just all, oh, just do it anyway. He feels like I could have compromised, and I feel that I should be able to eat things how I want. It's a silly squabble in the grand scheme of things, but my BF and I are really at odds about who's in the wrong and would love an outside opinion. Some people have been Some people have been asking what kind of oranges, whether they're actually oranges. All I can say is that I was told they were oranges, and they looked like typical oranges with thick skin. Oh, and there's a photo from the trees in their backyard. And as somebody, yep, those are definitely normal oranges. Here, I will definitely.
I love that. Definitely normal oranges.
Definitely normal oranges. I am not joking. Hold on, I'm gonna try to see if I can do a screen capture. Not a screen capture. What am I saying? I'm gonna try to see if I can get the. Oh, why is it not showing up? Oh, I guess because the window thing is not working right now. Okay, I can't really show it.
Why don't you just send the link in the chat for everyone to see?
Well, because I'd rather see people see it on the stream.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, window capture on the Streamlabs is like really weird sometimes. Yeah, because it's showing. Oh wait. Oh, that's because I don't have the. That's why I got confused for a second.
It's all right. You're human.
Wait, that wasn't it either. There we go. Found it. All right. This is what the orange tree looked like. Yeah, I know for people, I know for all the co-hosts, it'll probably take a few seconds. But yeah, those are the oranges that I see growing around in Florida. And yeah, those are definitely not ones that you just bite into and get like all the stuff in there. Like no, these are the orange trees that I grew up with. Okay, getting back to it. Edit 2. Lots of frequently asked questions, so I'll just answer them here. No, they don't just bite into it once to make it easier to peel. They don't peel the oranges at all. They eat the whole thing. Fruit, skin, and pit. Oh, they leave the pit in there too? Oh. Like one would eat an apple. Yes, it is messy. Yes, the skin is thick. The tradition involves eating the entire orange like that, not just a bite. I do recognize that I could have surrendered a bite to keep the peace, however. I wouldn't. As my boss would say, I'm here to destroy things. Or not destroy things. How did she put it? She was like, I'm here to...
They're in suburban California.
Yes, yeah, and yeah, because California, they also grow oranges there as well. Yeah, in San Diego, like I would see a lot of orange trees as well, but they're mostly like a lot of the oranges that you see around the states come from Florida, and I would bet you that some of the orange seeds that they went to California. Let's see. Let's see. This is the first time I've seen my BF eat an orange. He never ate them with me, as he would say that nothing compares to his parents' oranges. You know, a little heads up might have been nice as well. I mean, unless they were trying to keep it a surprise, which I'm not big on surprises myself. I'd rather just tell people because, like, oh, the suspense of it. Like, if I were going to do a surprise, I want it to be something that somebody would actually enjoy. You know, not something that I think that they might enjoy. He has seen me, our friends, and people in TV shows, movies eat peeled oranges. I assume the same goes for his parents. My BF has never commented before on the common peeling technique. His parents do this every Saturday. I'm not sure how they eat their oranges on other days, but I imagine it's the same. The whole family is expected to participate every Saturday when at the parents' house, but I don't have to do it in my own home. The reason I didn't try one bite, mostly because I was caught so off guard since all my BF told me is that they were going to eat oranges. Yeah, like I said, might have been a good idea to tell him about tell her about this. He didn't.
Probably would have been a good idea to warn ahead of time. Like,
Yeah, like
hey, my family's a little quirky. We like to eat oranges. How you probably would eat an apple. But even then, like, you sometimes peel an apple too, right?
No, you can't. You can't peel an apple. Apples are not peelable.
What?
Yeah, you can't peel apples. You have to use
I've
a
seen
knife.
people peel apples.
You have to use a knife. You can't do it with your hands. Like you could peel an orange with your hands, but you have to use a knife with apples.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
You still get my point, though, right? Like,
Yeah, I get your point.
even if you need another tool to do that.
Yeah. Anyway, the reason cause he didn't let me know about the method in advance, so I panicked. Yeah, most people would. That and the insistence that I eat the entire fruit the way they wanted me turned me off of trying it. Yeah, they were like pressuring her. I might be open to trying it in the future, probably because what as they call it, survivorship bias, where like she's trying to just making sure that she's trying to keep the peace with her BF because she likes him so much. I think that covers it. Thanks for the comments. I'll definitely share with my boyfriend. Let's see. And it looks like the comments, okay, there's one commenter that says, "This is how my fiance eats oranges." Okay. Yeah,
funny?
even the commenters don't really know how to take it.
Yeah, my brain's like, what? I know it would be offensive for people who do it, but what? It's not normal in my brain.
One commenter said, "Do they know what potatoes are?"
It's
Oh
just-
gosh, the potato story.
Oh, there's a potato story?
Please.
Yes.
I gotta know the potato story.
I think I mentioned this before. Remember when YouTube used to have a bunch of channels that would do like stories of like they'd animate them and there'd be messed up stuff like I was homeless or I got my stepmom pregnant or
Yeah.
my friends think I'm dead.
What the
Yeah.
actual hell?
Hey, buddy.
Or there was one that was
Cassie.
like I'm allergic to water and it had the stupidest love triangle ever where like a girl was like I'm forced to marry this guy. She tried running away with the guy she actually liked and it just ended up with the girl like getting the father's approval and just he said she didn't have to live with like the forced husbands. It was really stupid.
Wait, 4 husbands?
Here's the potato story.
4 husbands. I'm sorry. That's like, can we diversify
Forced,
it, please?
yeah. It's-
Oh, forced. I'm sorry.
is-
I thought you said 4 husbands. I'm like, what the hell? She's got like 4 different men that she's married?
I'll have to link the other if they still have it. Like, I'll have to link it. But it's one of those channels took this story and made it into their own and pretended they wrote it. But yeah, the potato story's in the chat right now.
All right, I'm reading it now. Today I fucked up by enraging the parents of my girlfriend by pretending not to know what a potato is. Why would you pretend not to know what a potato is? I gotta find out more about this.
Please.
Most people would just read the headline and not read the rest, and then just post this online and be like, "This guy joked about potatoes." Anyway, let me tell you that I made a bad mistake this evening. My girlfriend, who let me tell you is only my second girlfriend of all time, we don't need to know that. And also, it's not a popularity contest. We don't care about how many partners you've had in your lifetime. Trust me, one is enough. If you can find the right one, then you're good. You don't need to brag about how you had 25. Said that I'm invited to dinner with her and her parents. I was very aghast, nervous, and bashful to be invited to such a situation, but I knew it must be done. I met them nicely, I should tell you, and it started off in
The
a good
filler
way.
in this is really weird.
Oh, this is gonna be filler. I was aghast, nervous, and bashful.
But I knew it had to be done. Look, were you? Did the Lannisters hire you to take someone out?
The
What the hell are you
Lannisters.
going on about?
The Lannisters. The Lannisters.
My name is Potato Man. The Lannisters send their regard. Just a potato-shaped pokey human opener.
Oh, you like potatoes, huh? Well, then have all the potatoes in the world. I don't get it. Ronald McDonald went crazy after 30 minutes.
And he makes billions of those weekly.
I met them nicely, I should tell you, and it started off in a good way. The idea slapped my mind. Wait, what idea? What idea? The idea slapped my mind that I should do a comic bit to make a good impression. Oh, no. And to become known to them as a person who is amusing. Oh, no. Don't do the classic, I gotta do a joke to impress people. Usually the jokes that you try to prepare are not funny. The ones that you do unintentionally are the most funny. And then when people start laughing at them, they try to do other things to be funny. It's like, you know that ripped pants SpongeBob episode? That's basically what I'm getting at.
Yes.
That's basically what I'm trying to say.
One.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, stop trying to, force people to laugh at your bad jokes. When I saw that baked potatoes were served, I got the idea that it would be very good if I pretended I did not know what potatoes was. What's the punchline for that?
Yeah.
Not knowing that potatoes exist? Like, why would anyone think that that's amusing? That would be funny, he says. How? Like, okay, let's dissect this joke that this person came up with. I do not think baked potatoes exist is funny. That should be there. Okay, I'm writing that down on a piece of paper. I think baked potatoes not existing are funny. Ask yourself that. Okay, now ask yourself the question: why is this funny? And now I'm putting an A under that, and I'm gonna put the answer is because I can't think of one. I have no reason to believe that non-existing baked potatoes are funny. There is nothing funny about that. I can't come up with one. So if I can't come up with it and other people can't come up with it, why did you... let me go. Anyway, let me tell you. Backfired on my face. I'll tell you how. You know, he could have said if he wanted to be funny, I got egg on my face afterwards. But he missed that opportunity. So first, when the potato became on my plate... Wait, so did the potato turn into the plate? Did we go through a metamorphosis here? I acted very interesting. Okay, this guy's grammar. I acted very interesting. I showed an expression on my face so as to seem that I was confused, astounded, but in a restrained way, curious and interested. He's looking at this baked potato like people look at art exhibits in museums. He's just sitting there going, this baked potato is provoking but powerful.
Oh, sorry for interrupting. Orange marmalade. That's what you can use orange peels for. I forgot about that.
Yes, Oh, I have to look up orange recipes after this. They did notice and seemed confused but did not remark. So I asked, "This looks very interesting. What is this?" They stared at me, and the mother said, "It's a baked potato." And I was saying, "Oh, interesting, a baked, what is it again?" And she was like, "A potato." And I was like, a potato. "Oh, interesting. Never heard of a potato. Looks pretty good."
He sounds like he's just trying to troll.
But even then, like, if you're gonna troll, you gotta troll with a punchline to it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
There's nothing to this that would make me think, like, okay, you're just trying to make yourself laugh. But he's not even doing that. Like, his whole purpose is to try to make them laugh because he's trying to impress them. No,
he's making himself look like an idiot.
Oh, well, he realizes that now. But, sorry. I was like, and then they didn't see that I was clowning, but thought I really did not know what is a potato. So I knew I would be very shamed, humiliated, depressed. Why are you putting depressed in that category? Over a baked potato. People don't get depressed over baked potatoes. and disgusted.
Sorry, can't come into work. I got the baked potato blues.
Yep, exactly. Sorry, I had to go into sorry, I had to go into rehab. I have a baked potato problem. See, nobody says that. Nobody says these things. I've been off
I have a
baked.
food addiction for potatoes.
I've been off baked potatoes for 4 years. Now I can understand if somebody had like I can understand if somebody was eating nothing but baked potatoes for a long time, and that was like the only thing they ate, and then they told them, you need to stop eating baked potatoes or you're going to die. And so they sent this person to rehab because they've been eating baked potatoes their whole life. I could see that, but not in this instance.
Dude, like I can see that happening with people. Like I've seen specials where people eat one food only.
Yeah. So that's why I said it wouldn't surprise me if somebody out there went to rehab because of eating nothing but baked potatoes. If I admitted to making a bad joke. So what I did was to act as if it was not a joke, but I committed to the act of pretending I didn't. Oh, so he's method acting now.
Oh yeah.
They asked me, very incredulous, did I really not know what a potato is? That I never heard of a potato. I went with it and told them, yes, I did not even hear of a potato. Not only had I never eaten a potato, I never heard the word potato. I would like to ask this person, did you watch Toy Story or any of the sequels afterwards? If you did, you've heard the word. Have you been to McDonald's and have their French fries? You would have heard it.
Mom didn't allow me to have fast food growing up.
Have you actually had homemade French fries?
Mom never allowed this in the family. We just ate meat.
Okay, you can have sausage and potatoes. That's a
People
fair.
won't let me eat a potato. He said, what is this, Communist Russia? Y'all gonna eat a burger and y'all gonna like it.
I guess this guy's never heard of Idaho either.
Yeah.
Anyway, this went on for a bit. My
Holy
girlfriend.
shit.
What?
Sorry, I got shiny.
Oh, okay. This went on for a bit, and my girlfriend was acting very confused and embarrassed by my fucked up antics. And then the more insistent I was about not knowing, oh my god, he kept playing into this. And the more
Bro,
insistent,
stop.
it's like that one stand-up comedian that just does bad jokes, and so like when they get booed, he just heckles the audience while they're still booing him. It's like, well, you're ugly, you're fat, and you're a B word.
Jesus.
And then the more insistent I was about not knowing what a potato was when then okay, I was about not okay, and then the more insistent I was about not knowing what a potato was when them parents. That's the way that sentence is phrased. What a potato was when them parents started thinking I did know what a potato was. Well, let me tell you, I had to commit 100% at this point. No, you didn't. You could have just said I was just kidding and then moved on with your day. When I would not admit to knowing what a potato was, the father especially began to get annoyed. At one point he said something like, enough is enough. You're fucking with us, admit it. And I said, sir, before today, I had never heard of a potato. I still don't know what a potato is, other than some kind of food. I don't know what to tell you. Well, let me tell you, he got very annoyed. I decided to take a bite of the potato, and when I did, I made a high-pitched noise and said, oh, God, and said, tastes very strange.
Like that?
I didn't hear that.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't hear that
Oh, no, I
either.
can't do it. Hold on.
How strange.
Okay, now you sounded like a Muppet.
Oh,
I was trying
Lord.
to sound like Fat Albert.
Well,
Tried
especially
it, I
with
sounded like a balloon leaking air.
especially since Keenan is like potentially seeing a 19-year-old, probably not the best choice of characters.
I was trying to go back to the other rapist.
Oh well, no, we don't bring him up either.
That's why I said the rapist.
So let me tell you, he got very annoyed. I was like, this is when the father started yelling at me, and the mother kept saying, "What are you doing?" And my girlfriend went to some other room. Finally, the father said I should get the fuck out of his house. Finally, the most.
That escalated quickly. Looks like OP didn't butter his girlfriend's parents up.
I love he's like, get out of my house. Get out of my house. Get out of fuck out of my house.
Get the hell out of my house before I kick your ass.
If this was Hank Hill, it'd be a lot more funnier.
Now, if you really want if you really wanted to commit to this, he should have said, "No, it's not your house. It's my house."
Then the cops would have been called.
I know, and then he would have gone to jail, and then that would have been hilarious.
And the next day, his girlfriend breaks up with him.
Oh no, she goes off and she goes off and marries his best friend.
Oh yeah, she marries Mark.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, he has to watch the wedding reception from a prison television set.
Oof.
Hi,
As long as it
Mark.
wasn't. As long as nobody well, at least nobody decides to record over with an adult film.
Oh Lord.
Oh, there's more to this. And I said it was irrational to treat me like this just because I never heard of a potato before. Well, let me tell you, he didn't take that kindly. Now, in text messages, I've been telling my girlfriend I really don't know what about. Oh my god, he's still playing up with this.
Dude.
Even to his own girlfriend. And I really don't know what the only way I can get out of this is for them to buy that I don't know what a potato is. No, it's not.
You're
That's-
a dumbass.
I wish I never started it, but I can't go back. I think she will break up with me anyway.
Well, you dug your own grave, bud.
You know, you realize they're going to probably look at this Reddit post, right? And know that you're basically telling the truth of this. I like how this commenter put it. You need to commit 100% to this now. Invent a religion, perhaps an obscure offshoot of Roman Catholicism, formed after the Irish potato famine that eschews potatoes in all their forms. Create a Wikipedia page. Find a passage in the Bible that supports it. Literal interpretation of beasts of the field, perhaps. Maybe claim beast is close to the old Irish word for potatoes. You're gonna have to get creative. Reveal all this to the girlfriend's families, though you just found out yourself. Tell them you went home and asked your parents about it, and they sat you down and told you they were a part of this religion and had raised you in observance of its tenets. You can then roll your eyes and act like your parents are the weirdest, most embarrassing people on earth for putting you in this situation. Oh, and they told you French fries were made from bread because it was the one indulgence they allowed. Never let your parents and her parents meet unless they've been briefed and could be trusted to dive on any grenades.
Yeah, that's fine and dandy until the wedding day.
And then somebody said, and at the wedding, have a baked potato bar. You'll need to smooth over their discovery that your weird religion has no clergy to perform the wedding, unless you could find a buddy to come in as the potato priest. You could just call them apples. The French word for potato is literally ground apple.
Dude, I can imagine some guy dressed up as a potato now doing a wedding.
Wearing a priest's clothes and become the potato priest.
Yeah, wearing a
potato
potato
wedding.
outfit, wearing a priest outfit. Same time too.
Yeah, no.
What do you
This
think,
is kind
Elliot?
of weird.
Yeah, everybody's just fucking with him at this point. Wait,
Hey, you wanted a-
wait, this story is fake?
What?
Yeah, apparently
Is
this has been apparently somebody said, I don't care if this is fake. I love it.
Oh,
A lot of
God.
Reddit stories are thought to be fake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why'd you guys break up? Potatoes. You know, I could do this at one of my if I ever done a stand-up routine again, I'll probably read this story.
You gotta make the guy like a country bumpkin.
Somebody's saying when she tells you she's breaking up with you, tell her you don't know what a breakup is. Somebody said, I've been with this sub ever since its inception. I follow idiots fighting things and Tumblr in action. This is the worst
Oh,
thing I've ever
Lord.
read on this entire website. YOPY.
I'll be right back.
Somebody said, this is literally the worst thing I've ever heard. This is one of my favorite fuck-ups ever. It's got everything. Potatoes, girls, dads, confusion, and yelling. I love the fact you thought of this, and I love the parents got so mad about it. Wow. I'm going to tell this
Joe, you
story.
okay?
I'm going to tell this story one of these days to people. And they'd be like, yeah, like this actually happened to somebody. Man. Yeah, that's going to be tough to top.
Wait.
What? What's going on? Hmm? You there?
Huh?
Oh, I couldn't hear you for a second.
Oh, sorry. I was just trying to find something.
Okay.
Okay, I found it. I found it.
What'd you find?
Right. As I said, an animation story channel had ripped off the potato story. We don't have to watch it. It's just putting it there.
Okay, we could watch it afterwards.
Oh, gosh, the transcript for it though is just really. Is it okay if I read part of the transcript?
Sure.
Hi, I'm Andy. I've always had a particular sense of humor. I also used to have a girlfriend who I guess wasn't compatible with my sense of humor. And then the girlfriend is shown like on the right with the hair all over the place. Who was who I guess wasn't compatible with my sense of humor. Let me tell you how I found out. So my girlfriend invited me to dinner with her and her parents, and then it says blimey. I never met them and I got pretty nervous, you know, that milestone that any man prefers to see far ahead, but alas, I knew it must be done. This some asshole put the potato story through Google Translate.
Oh, it's one of those deals.
Oh gosh, I met them nicely, I should tell you, and it started off in a good way, and oh gosh, then the ideas slapped my mind that I should use some comedy to make a good impression in a museum? As little as they seemed deadly serious, so naive. Okay, this is just turning into word salad now.
Sounds like it.
Even Elliot's making me stop.
I was like,
Hello,
what?
little guy.
Hey, Elliot.
Oh gosh, no. The same channel, also did the show, I also have videos called I Fell in Love with My Bully. My parents love my younger sister more than me. My evil uncle. I'm allergic to tears. I got my stepmom pregnant. I ran
Yeah.
away from my real mom to my foster parents, but it ended in a tragedy. Yikes. And this shit was still going 3 months ago.
Jeez.
Alright, Elliot, get off my desk. I'm fine now.
All right, so while we wait for Circus, here's another Today I Fucked Up story. This one is called Today I Fucked Up by Thinking the Thing in My Belly Button Was Normal.
Oh, gosh.
So I don't often touch or poke at my belly button because it would make me squeamish, but occasionally I would notice that thing inside it. I always assumed it was an old nub end of dried out umbilical cord or maybe a little piece of skin. For years I just let it be, but lately it started to get on my mind more and more. I never asked anyone if they had the same thing in theirs, but I finally decided to Google it, and I was immediately grossed out. Turns out it was a navel stone. Years of buildup of dead skin, oils, hair, and whatever else makes it way in there. Now I consider myself to be pretty hygienic, but it just never dawned on me that your belly button needed special attention to keep clean. After a few minutes of researching if I should attempt to deal with it myself or go to the doctor, I decided I'd give it a shot myself. I grabbed the tweezers and got at it. Little pieces were coming off, but I wasn't getting a good grip on it. Again, I hate touching this area. I looked at more pictures to get an idea of what I was dealing with. I got more determined to get it out. I stuck the tweezers in deeper past my comfort zone and grabbed that sucker. I twisted it loose and pulled it out. It's black and the size of a sunflower seed or a small bean.
I feel like this is something they should have gone to the doctor for.
Yeah. Oh. Reminds me of this. But today I fucked up by putting a rock in my ear, then leaving it for roughly 13 years? Why? I'm not reading that one, but holy crap. No thanks. Alright. Here's another Am I the Asshole one. This one is called Am I the Asshole for Interrupting My Son's Date so he could pick up his little sister?
Oh, I remember. I just read that one.
Alright, so for everyone else, so I'm a single father, 43 years old, for 2 children, Max, 17, and Lisa, 8. Or Liza. Liza? I don't know. I usually... No, it's spelled Liza.
Liza.
Liza. So I usually have Liza in after school clubs so that I'm able to pick her up after work. However, last night I was given some work that had me working overtime. I did try my best to negotiate out of it, but my manager told me that the assignment was to be completed by that night, so I just did. Damn bosses. It was nearing towards 6 p.m., and I just knew I wouldn't be able to make it to Liza, so I called Max and asked him to pick her up. He responded by saying that he couldn't because he was on a date with his GF for their 6-month anniversary. 6-month anniversary?
Who the fuck separate? What? I almost said separate. Who celebrates their 6th month?
I know somebody that would. I knew somebody that would celebrate every month. Like they would have month anniversaries. And like the year ones were considered the ones where they had they would go to like a casino hotel and they would just pull an all-nighter. I told him that I understood, but that I really needed him to get Liza and that I'd make it up to him for interrupting. He just angrily turned off the phone, and I thought that while he was mad, he had just decided to pick her up. Never make that assumption. Especially if he didn't say a specific yes, that means it's probably not the case. 30 minutes later, I receive a call from Liza's school and where I was because the school was closed to closing down and no one was there. Luckily, one of Liza's friend's mothers said they'd drop her off and that was all good. However, I don't really like it when Liza goes out with that particular friend. Not because of the friend, but because of the mother. She has this habit of asking this is a British person, or UK, because they're saying maths instead of math. Of asking maths questions in the car that she knows Liza's unable to answer, and then criticizes her over it. It's all just very mean. Who does that?
Assholes. That's who
that's
Abusers.
That's the mother should be writing an AITA one for that particular reason. I called Mask and asked him where he was and that he was in big trouble when he got home. He just told me that he was busy and to leave him the hell alone. He came home at around 9 p.m. I told him he was grounded and that he was not allowed to use the car for a good 3 weeks. Why only 3? At that,
I don't know.
Why only 3? Why not make it 4? Why give him only 1 week of that month? Daddy got all mad and said that it wasn't his fault. I was failing as a parent and unable to afford someone to collect Liza. That is typical teenager talk. I just want some insight on this situation. Was I being too harsh, and am I the asshole for interrupting his date? Edit. This is the third time I've asked Max to pick up his sister in the span of 2 years. Some people are asking why I don't have a nanny. Money is tight.
That's kind of an asshole thing to ask. Like, oh, why don't you get a nanny? Like, not everyone has a little silver spoon up their asshole.
Yeah, not everybody has Bill Gates money, or not even that. Like, not that many people are making six figures. What I want to know is if he knew about the date beforehand.
Yeah.
Because if he knew about the date beforehand, then I would have an issue with that. Because
Why would that matter? Because like he wouldn't have called under normal circumstances. He just called because it was an emergency. You know, he's not going out to bars. Like he's literally working. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I'm just saying, like, if he knew that his son had a date, I would hope that there's other people
And
besides.
he offered to make it up to the son. So like.
No, but I'm
Again,
saying,
6 months not important.
No, but I'm saying, like, if he knew he was on a date, hopefully he would have other people that he can call just in case. Because if he couldn't get in touch with his son for some reason, like say the son was like in a movie and couldn't get to the phone or something like that. That's what I'm saying. Like if there was like another opportunity for him to call someone else, that's the only point that I'm making. Because because nuance and context go a long way for stuff like that. Sometimes it's not good to only just get the OG's part of the story.
Well, I'm getting some context too. Alright, so according to OP, they were just driving around somewhere. Okay, so OP Road, they were just driving around somewhere from what I know. I expected him to drop her off and then continue his date, which now looking back doesn't seem impossible. He does not pay for gas or anything, he just drives the car.
So he's just like do, just driving the car, do.
Right, let's see it. OP says, I own the car, but my son uses it. I only call him in times of emergency.
Oh, hi, Alex. Oh, geez. Oh. Sorry, I'm just trying to. Oh crap! I didn't realize.
What?
I didn't realize that Mario movie comes out in 2 weeks.
Oh shit.
Shit.
Oh.
Well, technically the Wednesday of that week because they actually moved it ahead 2 days.
Pre-anticipating big crowds.
Well, I'm gonna talk with my childhood friends this weekend, and we're gonna try to plan ahead of time, because usually our deal back when the MCU was like tolerable. One of the things we would do is we would go see an MCU movie, and then we would go to this place called Buffalo Wild Wings, and we would get. My friend would foolishly. Okay, so here's what happened. I had a friend who took the Ghost Pepper challenge.
Oh no.
Or what they call the Blazing Wing challenge, because they didn't want to use Ghost Pepper. So he prepared himself. He did not eat for 3 days. Yes, Alex, you are an OG. So what he did was he didn't eat for 3 days, and he got there completely starving. And the thing was, if you won the Blazing Wings challenge, you would not only get a free T-shirt, you would get your picture put up on the wall. Which my thing is, like, okay, if you're gonna do like the hottest sauce out there, a picture and a T-shirt, the guy needs a lot more than that. Just pay for. Oh, I think also like his meal would get paid for. I think that's what it was. They would pay for his entire meal. Which I'm like, okay, not only pay for that meal, but pay for the next meal the next time he comes back. Give it an incentive to try it again. I mean, shit. But But what happened was, well, I mean, he actually completed it. But the thing was, like, what he didn't realize was that there were a group of girls watching him, and
Oh boy.
and they fell in love with him instantly. I'm talking about like they were treating him like the three women in the Beauty and the Beast did with Gaston.
Oh my god.
And so, like, they were even talking about, like, how cute his ass was and everything. And so, after he won and they went up to him, he completely shrugged them off and was like, "Oh, yeah, thanks for cheering me on. That was really cool." And I'm like, and I told him, I said, they commented on how cute your ass was. And he said, like, "Oh, did they? Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention."
What the hell?
Like, at one point, he didn't realize that they were trying to, like, they were asking him out, and he completely was oblivious to it.
Well,
Yeah, I've been there before.
oh what? Oh gosh, you have cat breath.
No, cats do that.
I know. Just
Which is why Alex remembers this. Yes, Alex was there along with me. I think we also videotaped it, but I think we were gonna put it somewhere on YouTube, but yeah, we never got around to doing that.
very beautiful. Get off of my desk.
I remember when I first went to Buffalo Wild Wings, I was like, this place is cool. And then I keep going back there all the time. So I keep going back there all the time. Like, the beautiful thing is, like, they actually will deliver to my house when it's like 20 minutes away from me. So I'm like, oh, hey, perfect. Awesome. I don't even have to drive there anymore if I wanted to get something, because my parents love going there. They just don't like the crowds, because everybody's like, there could be real jerks in there sometimes. So, like, you don't want to have to deal with that when you're, like, in your 70s. So they're just like, yeah, can we just, like, get all the food in there from home? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Oh wow, there's actually one within a little over an hour's driving distance from where I am.
An hour's distance? Oh my god. That's almost like Bob Evans for me.
Yeah,
Like, Bob-
64.4 or 64.5 miles.
Oh my god. That's a long-ass drive.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's like Bob Evans for me, because where Part 6 takes place in Port St. Lucie, that's where the closest Bob Evans is. And if you want sausage gravy, that's the only place you can go to get that. Oh, I'm trying to think, because Cheesecake Factory, those are dwindling down over here.
We
Okay,
don't even.
here we go. Retelling of the Cheesecake Factory.
Well, I mean, there's nothing really to tell about it. I mean, it's just like they're just dying. They're just dying a horrible
No,
death
I'm
because
just
nobody goes there anymore.
I'm just referring to an old joke that we had years ago.
Oh, I'm trying to remember it.
I don't even remember.
You were talking about you guys were talking about thinking about like different places like Soph really thought like about a couple having sex at the Cheesecake Factory, and then we ended up making this huge joke that went over the top.
I don't remember that, actually. It's been a long time.
Okay, we all freaked out because we made like that. Soph was like asking about like saying waiter, there's like people fucking off the table.
Waiter, I want my check.
Saying about like a couple that are fucking on the table, and we just like added on like dousing each other in water, and then getting like chocolate whipped cream, so we get the dog out of here.
That's a bad date. That's a date that was just like, oh, we're gonna be adventurous tonight. Let's just do it on top of like one of the Cheesecake Factory thing, and it's just like, oh yeah, douse them with water.
Yeah. Remember? Yeah, remember
And
that?
everybody's
Getting the cops involved, call 911. We already did.
It's like, we already did, and they're like, what? Why haven't they showed up yet? And everybody's cheering him on.
Yep. Now
Yeah.
you remember.
Yeah, now I do. Yeah, Cheesecake Factory is trash in a lot of ways. I remember I went to see. Okay, so I went So I went on this. So I took Alex's brother Austin to one of the Star Wars movies, and it happened to be with two reporters that I was working with at the news at the time. And we were like, "Oh, hey, the big Star Wars movie's coming out. Everybody at work should go." And we did it on that Friday night, and everyone and I. Okay, this happened. So I took them to see the movie. We had dinner at Cheesecake Factory afterwards, and yeah, we were all completely geeking out about it. And I remember the next day I had to go into work, and I found out that everybody else besides going to the Star Wars movie decided to go to a country bar strip club that was in the area. So like one half was the country bar and the other half was the strip club. And apparently they got like foolishly wasted. And when I say foolishly wasted, I mean they pretty much cleared house. So the next morning I get there, and usually you're supposed to have directors to do the live newscast. None of the directors showed up for the live newscast. So we're all scrambling, going like, "Are we gonna run the show with no director?" So they had to literally get the engineer to sit in at the director's chair, and then just put the camera, and then just put the camera on the anchor, and then for the entire half hour, it was just the news of an anchor just reading things off a teleprompter with no video, no graphics, no nothing. Just staring into there. And then the directors came in like completely hungover, and you couldn't hear them over the intercom. So they were like, "Okay, Kevin 2, you're gonna do this." And I was like, "What are you fucking saying?"
I do not understand drunk hangoverness.
Wait, let's. I was like, "What made you think?" And I asked them, like, "What made you think it was a good idea to go out and get drunk when you know you're supposed to work in the next day?" And he said, "Listen, I was getting laid with my wife last night." I was like, there's not that many times that I can there's not that many times that my wife and I can have a fun night out, because I work on the weekends and my only days off are Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and I feel like I really need some good fucking. And I was like, "Okay, dude, your funeral. If your job gets taken away from you because of this," I was like, just tell them, like, "How did you get fired?" When you go for your next job interview, say, "Why did you get fired?" "Oh, I got drunk and had sex with my wife before I went into work the next day, and I went in completely hungover, and I completely missed my shift." And if you say that, you'll be like, "Okay, we're not hiring you then," because who knows if you're going to do the same thing. Who knows if you're going to come into the office and then just do it right then and there, because you're just making you work overtime. So, you know, you can't prepare for this stuff. It's almost like my coworker this time around, like this whole week, it was just a mess. I told the co-host about this, during the week. But apparently, one of my coworkers, he was supposed to come in Wednesday, and he was supposed to come in multiple other days. So this is not just this week; it's been multiple weeks. We're like, technically, he does not work where we're at. He's just like one of those independent contractors that works for somebody else that just happens to help us out. So it's like, okay, well, he doesn't technically work for us, so I mean, it's not our fault if he doesn't show up. But apparently, like, this guy was completely dodgy for a while, and we're like, what the hell's going on here? So we find out that apparently he has a girlfriend that it's hard to explain. It's one of those girlfriends that it's like from one of those like cougar websites. It's like you go on, it's not Tinder, but typically it's like a website for cougar women to find younger guys. And it's mostly ones that have been like, that are like former strippers or like, former models or former prom queens or whatever. And they just have not been able to find the guy of their dreams, so they go on these websites. It's not Ashley Madison, but it's like something close to it. So he apparently found her on there, and so he's been dodgy because apparently he impregnated her, and has been trying to keep it on the down. Has been trying to keep it under wraps. I don't know why. I guess like he didn't want like people finding out about it or whatever, but apparently like he had to tell people about it. And so I felt like, yeah, that's why he's not been coming in. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. And then came in yesterday, did not say a word about it. I was like, okay, probably the best idea. I do not. It's like it was just interesting, like how that whole thing just came about. It was like I don't even want to know all the details about it, but it was just like a very.
It was weird that someone else brought it up.
Oh, it was my boss had to, because had to give an explanation of why they weren't there when we needed them that day. But it was, because we like to be informed if somebody's not going to show up or not. But it was just like sketchy, like, oh, we did not even get like a text or a phone call about it.
Couldn't they have just said, "Oh, hey, some personal problems came up, but they'll be in the next day"? That's just.
That would have been nice, but we didn't even get that.
No, I meant when the boss told you. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, well, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because the boss and I work very closely, so, I mean,
He's probably over there laughing about it.
Probably, I don't know, but it's like, and it's been dodgy too, because even before all this stuff happened, like before we found out about it, like even then it was like unpredictable. Like sometimes we would have to text them like, "Hey, are you coming in today or what?" And apparently they were like, yeah, so it was like very weird that way. And again, the guy doesn't technically work under us. He works for somebody that we're partnered with. So it's so technically he's not an employee, but I mean, we could kick him out anytime we want to, but it wasn't like too incredulous where it's like, okay, it's not like the guy was coming in drunk. I mean, we know he comes in high because we smell weed on him, but hey, my boss is a fan of weed and says, fuck DeSantis. If you want to smoke weed on your off time, smoke weed on your off time. I'm not going to get you in trouble.
I like your boss already.
Yeah. Boss is really cool. We got to watch Animal Farm today, like the old animated one. Like where the animation for it for the 50s, the animation for the 50s was pretty good considering it wasn't a Disney movie. And the fact that they changed the ending was I mean, obviously they did it for the kids, but I mean it all looked really good. And then we watched Looney Tunes afterwards. Because why not?
Nice.
I think I'm part of that Mandela effect where I always thought the Toon part was spelled Toon instead of T, the regular way.
TUNES?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do that until Tiny Toons later on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you hear about the jumbo edible meatball?
No.
The what
No.
meat? The what meatball?
What?
Hold on, I gotta get the good source for this.
At least it's not cloudy with the chance of
Jumbo
meatballs. That
meatball
sucks.
from the woolly mammoth's genetic
No.
something.
So wait,
Yeah.
woolly mammoths made meatballs?
Meatball made out of woolly mammoth.
Oh no, thank
Ew.
you. No, thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you. Ugh.
That's an extinct animal. First of all,
I know they used
why are you using extinct animal meat?
no, it's lab grown meat using the DNA from a mammoth.
Okay, let me read this article. Scientists have created a meatball made from a genetically engineered mammoth, but no one is allowed to eat it.
And what's the fucking point?
It's art.
Yeah.
You've heard
I
of the
know, right?
You've heard of
Alright,
the
so,
you've heard of the culinary
Time
arts,
to
right?
pull
Circus?
National Treasure 3, but instead it's the meatball.
All right, let me read this. You've probably heard of scientists experimenting with lab-grown meat these days, but what about an extinct prehistoric animal that no one has seen for thousands of years? Earlier this week, Australian cultured meat company VOW, V-O-W, unveiled a meatball made of woolly mammoth meat and grown entirely in a lab. But there's a catch. No one can eat it just yet. This is not an April Fool's joke. Tim Knocksmith, founder of VOW, told the Associated Press, this is a real innovation. The meatball is currently on display at a science museum in the Netherlands, Rijksmuseum Boerhaave. Val used existing information about the genetic sequencing of a mammoth, which included a key protein that gives the meat its taste, and filled in the blanks based on data from similar species like the African elephant. The company then...
Excuse my ignorance, but can we just try to like bring back the wool of man?
Instead of
Maybe
I think
making...
you're trying to, just...
Maybe the meatball is the first step.
Dude, come on.
The company then inserted those genes into sheep cells and let the cells multiply until they reached a meatball-sized amount. Val also...
We're just gonna turn it. This is some Jurassic Park shit.
Instead of Jurassic Park, it's Italian food park. Which I'm down for.
So,
Hey, you know what it could do? The final boss in the Italian food park could be the flying spaghetti monster.
woo!
Sure.
We need to make a roller coaster ride with him.
Oh, that would be something. Oh, Italy Fest! Oh, we need to have a flying spaghetti monster roller coaster. I'm excited now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meatball merry-go-rounds.
Do you think we'll be able to make money off that shit?
Hey, with Italian cuisine, you will make billions.
Mommy, I want to go on the spaghetti monster roller coaster.
I want to see the firefighters fly down the spaghetti pole. Val also produces lab-grown quail, but has not sold it to the public. Other companies have created cultured meat like chicken and proven that it's safe for consumption. Normally, we would taste our products and play around with them, but we were hesitant to immediately try and taste because we're talking about a protein that hasn't existed for 5,000 years. James Rawl, the chief scientific officer at Val, told CNN Tuesday, "It's not going to go up for sale because we got no idea about the safety profile of this particular product." Val did not immediately return Vorchin's request for comment. So if the meatball isn't going to make it into restaurant menus or supermarkets, why bother creating them? Val says there's a broader message behind creating a mammoth meatball: to invest in the future of food.
Fuck that.
Dude.
I want a piece of that meatball.
Dude, I just want the wool of mammoth to come back so we can multiply them and then we can have more meatballs.
I mean, I already make a good meatball as it is. You don't need woolly mammoth. All you need is some good ground chuck and you're good. And along with
Dude,
some...
enough with that. We want to take it to the next level. We need a fucking dinosaur.
If you want dinosaur meat, I'm not getting you dinosaur meat.
We want dinosaur meat.
No, I know you want it, but you're not getting it.
Oh gosh, dino nuggets made of actual dino.
Oh god, dino nuggies out of actual dino meat. Okay.
Okay, bring me the dino nuggies. I'll accept that.
See, this should be...
Hey, let me just... I might as well go eat a fucking alligator since it's technically a dinosaur.
All right, we should clip this and make it into a video of some kind, because this is golden. Saying, as
I want a fucking dinosaur.
we just need to find like some weird ass stories and then just like make them into a stream and then just clip them. And that will be our. And then there we go. We got video content for the rest of the week. Just upload
We can
them
call it
once a day.
We can call it Flashback Sundays.
Or Flashback Fridays, since we do these on Fridays.
Well, we can upload them on Sundays. That's why I was saying.
No, we upload one video per day. That way we have enough content for the whole week that people can see like, oh, hey.
How about we just call it like Mindfuck Fridays?
Did you say did you say my fuck Fridays?
No, mine.
Mine suck.
I was like, Mooney, where are we going with this?
We might as well call them Mind Fucks.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Laundromat. This is Mindfuck Friday, where anything is possible. Your mind will get fucked. See how things can come organically like this?
So,
More ways than one.
going back to the whole dinosaur
Well,
thoughts.
I still have more of the article.
Well, I was about to say, isn't corn related to fucking dinosaurs? He is, after all, a giant ass chicken. I mean, there's
Well,
gonna be some fucking dinosaur DNA in him.
well, I mean, I know chickens do come from dinosaurs, so yes. And
Yeah,
Echo.
but yeah. Oh, I
Uh,
forgot. He's related to Chicken Boo. That's why he's giant.
Look, corn is 7 feet tall, okay? And he wears overalls.
Yeah, so is fucking Chicken Boo.
The thing about corn is he doesn't like to be compared to his cousins. Of course, okay. So anyway, as climate change.
You need to keep. By the way, you need to keep corn away from the alley. I saw him back there trying to buy some crack.
I mean, he calls them Cocoa Puffs, but let's keep it. Let's not tell him that what he's really getting. Anyway.
Anyways, we need to block him for the alley.
So anyway, the article goes on to say, as climate change and food shortages threaten the global food supply, Vow touts lab-grown meat as the future. Cultured meat demands fewer resources like land and water to manufacture, and advocates say it could reduce the risks of pollution and climate change.
So basically, they're just trying to make meat for vegetarians.
No, that's not what they're saying. They're saying they're going to grow meat in labs instead of like doing it through meat processing plants, which by the way cause a lot of climate change. It makes the heat temperature go up. So
I was just saying this is another way for vegetarians to eat meat now.
But they're not. But vegetarians are not going to be eating lab-grown meat. Vegetarians are gonna be staying away from that. They're still sticking to what they always eat. It's just that for the carnivores like us, instead of just getting it from like actual animals that we slaughter in the things,
What are you talking about?
what we're gonna do is we're gonna grow lab meat in. We're just gonna grow meat in labs using DNA and cells.
I'm not sure if that's even safe to fucking grow meat in labs.
That's why they're doing tests on them. That's why they haven't sold lab-based meat in grocery stores. They're still in the developing stages of this.
Woo! Fun.
I mean, there's a lot of research that they still have to do. And they still need to do and I think the peer review papers are already out about how this would help with climate change and everything. It's just like one's minute detail. There's still a lot of other things we need to do besides just like growing lab-based meat, but it's a start.
It'll probably fucking come out like by the time we're old.
I mean, hey, I would still eat it. I mean, as long as it's ground meat. I mean, yeah, stay away from red meat, whatever you do. But, so anyway, the article says, we need to start rethinking about how we get our food. My biggest hope for the project is that a lot more people across the world begin to hear about cultured meat. James Rawl, the chief scientific officer at Vow, told CNN. Milksmith told this AP that it chose to replicate the meat of a woolly mammoth because it had been traditionally a symbol of loss. We know now that it died from climate change, and so what we wanted to do was see if we can create something that was a symbol of a more exciting future that's only better for us, but also better for the planet. So there was like a little bit of symbolism in there. It's like a phoenix. It dies and then it gets reborn in the ashes.
But instead it's reborn onto a plate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And treated as an Italian delicacy.
Hi, honey. Hi, honey. What are you doing, buddy?
We might as well start doing cloning.
I mean, we've already cloned sheep. I mean, we cloned sheep in the 90s.
Yeah, for our food. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, but we're not going to be cloning. If anything, we'll probably clone them, but it's probably going to be at the cellular level. They probably won't make it until like where the proteins come together and they start forming actual life. We'll start getting like some sheep DNA and or some cow DNA or whatever, and we'll just develop meat through there instead. Because think about it.
That's just going to be authentic, you know?
Here's the thing, you know this meat is going to be fucking like very expensive.
Well,
I know,
not
right?
Well, depending on how. Well, I mean, we'd have to see how how all the world governments react to this, and because obviously there's got to be push to make this meat affordable because it's like better for you. So I would think that there would be a time where they're going to actually advocate that this food gets affordable to people that can't afford like actual food. So
I don't trust the government when it comes to food.
Me neither.
no, well, the benefit is I keep reading about this stuff like all the time. So any updates, I will keep everybody updated on it.
All right.
Oh, by the way, Mooney also brought this to my attention. Apparently, and I thought this was an April Fool's joke, but apparently,
Y'all did.
Sega came out with a Sonic murder mystery game.
Mm,
And it's out on Steam right now, actually, for free. For free. So I'm like, okay, I gotta play this next time around.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, Murder on the Sonic Express. I mean, it's perfect. It takes place on a train, from what I understand.
And you do love your murder on the murder on express murder on train stories, so
I mean, there's
I mean,
only
it seemed
one-
weird enough to like be on brand for Sonic.
Well,
I know.
if we can have Sonic racing with cars, then we can have a Sonic murder mystery game. If Sonic could be at the Olympics for no reason, we can have a murder mystery game for no reason.
you guys and your murder porn.
This is not true crime. I mean, these are like murder mystery games. We're playing a murder mystery on Wednesdays all the time, Circus.
I just felt like saying that. Murder porn.
Now, true crime is what you're thinking of, like people get into like the podcast stuff and they're like, oh my God, can you believe that this serial killer has been around for like so many years? And oh, I want to know all their backstories. I'm like, why? Why do you want to know the backstories of serial killers? They're horrible people that deserve to go to prison.
Here's the thing, I'm a weirdo. I'm into like stalker stories.
Well, stalker stories is different than serial killer stories because not only do you have the stalking involved, but you have murder on top of it. Like, why do you...
Exactly.
But people get so invested into that. Like, there's these podcasters from Portland, Oregon. They treat this like it's like a hobby of theirs. Like, they get like former detectives and judges and prosecutors to come on the show to talk about these cases, and they get all giddy about like pictures of like bloody scenes and everything. I'm like, why? What the fuck, man?
what's up, Bubba? What's up, Kashi? You doing all right, buddy?
I'm sorry, that's not something that I can get into.
I just have
Ow.
a fascination with
Your
stalkers.
hind claw, honey.
Like the
Okay.
obsession.
Okay, you getting
with
comfy?
women, that's it.
I mean,
how
Alright, get
one
comfy on my
gets
lap,
that-
buddy.
I mean, it's good to it's good.
Sorry,
To,
okay.
I mean, it's good to know what stalkers tend to do with behavior, so that you know to kick them in the balls if they come near you. But
Yeah, it helps me be on guard just in case in the future if anybody says to stop my ass.
although Hank Hill probably wouldn't recommend kicking people in the balls.
I would.
I
But what
guess
if
the
it-
last thing we should talk about is how the sad news that happened yesterday.
What's that news?
All right, so you know the person who created Bubsy, Mike Berlin.
I don't even know who the
Mhm.
fuck Bubsy is.
Yeah, I don't
You don't know who
Bubsy-
Bubsy
oh,
the
he's
Bobcat is.
I don't know who
he's
you're talking
that
about.
It's a video game character that John Tron reviewed. That he was supposed to be like a character that's supposed to rival that
Bubsy,
of Mario
that's
and Sonic.
stupid. Oh,
Nah.
that fucking
Yep.
cat.
Nah, I still
Yeah,
Yep.
don't know.
this guy, the creator of the series, passed away yesterday at age 73.
Oh. I thought it'd be younger.
Yeah, he was.
I
I guess
barely
he was born in 1949.
I barely remember this character.
Jesus, he's as old as my dad.
I like how it says claws encounters of the furred kind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they made a lot of weird puns like that. A
Yeah,
lot of
cat
movie
puns and
references.
all.
Yeah, I barely even know who that is.
John Tron did a review on the games.
yeah. Thank you for reminding me. You just had to say Bubsy the cat, and then that'd be like, oh, I know what you're talking about now.
Bobcat, it's different, kind of different.
He's a-
There's
Yeah.
a difference between Tom and Bob.
Hey, get off the freaking freezer!
Hey,
Uh-oh.
Tomcat,
Didicarus also
Bobcat
did a
show.
review, and
Okay,
Tennings.
Bobcat. Okay, the Bob and Tom show featuring a Tomcat and a Bobcat. Okay.
Oh God,
I
I
gotta
haven't
kill
heard.
this cat.
You set me up for that, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, it's been a long time since that radio show. Yeah, there's not. I'm looking online. Wait a minute, what's going on in Little Rock? No.
Wait a minute,
Oh, the
Rob
tornadoes.
Paulson did Bubsy's
What?
voice in
What?
the cartoon pilot.
Yeah, like a tornado hit like Tennessee and Arkansas tonight.
Wait a minute. Why does April
yeah.
Why does April Fool's Day have its own Twitter page?
Don't know.
As people are pulling up their pranks, all the like trying to, people are doing like their false advertising and trying to like trick people. That's why.
The recent one, a Earthbound wiki, had been taken over by the Pig Mask Army.
Oh, lovely.
Apparently, Grimer took over the Bulba Garden forums.
All right.
So you see what I'm getting at, huh?
So it's just streamers pretending they're quitting YouTube. Particular characters taking over wikis. Yeah, apparently these are what people are doing as April Fool's jokes.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna leave the show. Bye, guys.
Yeah,
You guys know better than that shit.
yeah.
That's why we
Also-
chuckled.
A Super Smash Brothers wiki changed its focus to baseball instead.
Nice.
I
Hey,
guess
let's see what Google does.
look, I guess it's a lot better than what Squidward did.
We don't talk about Squidward.
Why is it whenever I'm having fun, it's wrong?
Because everybody hates you, okay?
Or no, it's because you get most of your humor from 4chan.
Squidward is 4chan. What?
Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Squidward went on 4chan on his off time when he's not playing the clarinet.
Or working at the Krusty Krab.
Oh no, they wouldn't have phones at there. It's like, all you phones are costing me money.
Krusty Krab. No, Mr. Krabs would fucking charge everybody for Wi-Fi.
Now listen, I remember we were talking about like why didn't Mr. Krabs just like sell Plankton the secret Krabby Patty formula, and I said, well, why does what would make us think that Plankton would have the money to buy it? That's probably why he steals it. And then secondly, it's a closely trade guarded secret. Most people are not going to give the secret formula to a recipe. McDonald's doesn't even do that for their French fries.
Mm-hmm.
Or their
That's-
sauces for their Big Macs and shit.
That's why Burger King doesn't do it with their Whoppers. That's why Wendy's doesn't do
Hell.
it with their quarter pounder cheeseburgers.
Hell, the mix of KFC comes in. It's already pre-packaged and sent out to their thing. So, yeah, the secret recipe would be safe.
That's why Arby's doesn't have anything, because Arby's is a dying brand.
Oof.
Excuse you, my Arby's is still here.
We don't even have an Arby's anywhere where I live. Arby's completely died off.
We have Arby's where I live.
You know what Arby's got replaced with? Olive Garden. I'm like, I'll take the Arby's back, thank you. I don't need you spreading misinformation about Italian food everywhere.
Or
The
a
last time-
stereotype, or is it basically a stereotype of it?
They literally have
I
a
got it.
they literally have a section of their menu called the Tour of Italy. That's not even Italian.
Oof.
I got a little embarrassed last time I was in Olive Garden.
Look,
Um,
the only reason I ate at an Olive Garden last year in Philly was because it was the only restaurant in the area
uh,
that was close to my hotel.
Whoa. Okay, so with the Sonic murder mystery thing, this is actually based on an idea that this person on Twitter made.
Oh God.
Who is this? Oh, okay, social media manager for Sonic Hedgehog. Alright, so it was a fun little project that they just got a bunch of people to work on.
Nice.
What?
I mean, I can't wait to play it. It's going to be a lot of fun for me. I mean, all we have to do is just get through tax day, and then I'll be all right. I mean, technically, I'm doing my taxes tomorrow, but I'm just like, I want to get them done now so that I can have a beer and enjoy the game.
I've already got mine done
Uh.
yesterday, and got a new debit card, so I should be Gucci for now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Circus.
I just want to get through this Easter hunt.
Oh, whoops,
Like,
wrong
it's
one.
not even Palm Sunday yet.
Like I said, my family wants to get the Easter egg hunt over with already, so they can actually relax with the dinner on the actual day.
JoJo reunions? What? Josuke,
What?
Jorno, and Jolene in order at the Joestar family reunions.
What?
Voice feminization for absolute beginners. How to get started now. I'm cis, but I want to cause problems at family gatherings. In one of the comments. Femi Oliver Twist on Twitter says, if I don't get a Switch for Christmas tomorrow, I'm going to explain he, him lesbians to my pop-pop with dementia in the middle of dinner.
Oh.
What the fuck?
God.
It's supposed to be like their headcanon for how certain characters acted.
And then Trap Dog on Twitter says, telling my conservative cousin they are making the Kool-Aid Man into a Kool-Aid they just to watch him melt down.
Hi, Jess.
Hey, Chester. Apparently,
some
he's
love.
joining in on the fun too.
Oh, he just wants some love. He came up here and nudged me. He wants some love. Mwah. I love you, baby.
My boy.
Oh,
Good
okay. I like this
boy.
caption.
Come here.
What's it, Self?
Hold on.
Chester.
We can't play the video until afterwards, but it's funny.
Woman fixes the gas station. Thank you, woman. That was very... I can't read the last part. Why is that put on the Chiron on the lower third on the bottom? Oh, wait, that's
I don't
edited.
know.
That's edited. That's definitely edited.
Oh crap! I closed the tab.
All right, well, since Mario Party 2 ended, we can end the show now.
Who won?
Okay.
Green Boy.
Ah,
Green Boy. Luigi?
Green Mario.
Yoshi?
The reskin Mario.
Which land was it?
Mystery Land.
Okay. Oh, we're all archaeologists. Okay.
Yeah, and Luigi was definitely the star archaeologist.
Oh, that's why he's trending. Okay. Sorry, just looking at something. Okay, that is adorable.
Will you sit your butt still?
Okay.
Lay down on that.
All right, people. it's gonna be time for me to celebrate my spring break, so I may do more than one stream this week. I don't know. We'll find out how energetic I get, depending on all the sleep I'm gonna be getting. So, until next time, we'll be back with Ace Attorney on Wednesday, and then Friday we will do more of what we call Mindfuck Fridays. Since
Well,
we're gonna
everyone take care.
that's what we're gonna go with. So if the next time you're at the laundromat, get ready for a mindfuck on